I love music. I think it's fair to say for me that I love music more than the average person. My whole family loves music, I would say, more than the average person. We go to karaoke for birthdays in our own little private booth and sing. We sing songs in the car. We have music on with every activity in the house. Maybe more so me than the rest of my family, but yeah. I have a big background in music as well. I took music in school. Once I left school, I pursued a very short career in DJing when I lived abroad in Cyprus. I produced my own music as well. Plug, I'm on Spotify, iTunes and all the other streaming services. Yeah, I've been producing music myself now for about maybe 7 or 8 years, maybe more than that. So yeah, I've got a vested interest in music, much like the rest of my family. And I think it's because of my family, I do love music so much. So last year was the first time I had ever been to the theatre. Now it wasn't just any theatre, it was a live orchestral performance of movie music we went to see in the theatre. Now that included the likes of Lord of the Rings and some Disney movies. It was phenomenal. There were tears running down my eyes the whole night. Mostly because I'd never seen a live performance of music before. Yeah, I've been to raves, I've been to plenty of festivals, but that's a DJ pushing buttons on a machine. Now there's nothing wrong with that because I love DJing. I've done it myself, still have all my DJ equipment. But it's just not the same as listening to someone play on an instrument live. Now we went to see this in the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall. First time I'd ever been there as well. And it felt like I was going back in time. The concert hall was beautiful. We were up on the top row, we could look down, and it was an experience, like I say, I've never had before. There was no phones allowed, no pictures. The conductor down the bottom was jesting with us. It honestly felt like I'd went 200 years back in time. And yeah, I can't really put it into words. I wish I could say more about it, but this experience was one in a lifetime. So I had a fantastic time at this event. And a couple of months ago, my sister's boyfriend messaged me to ask if I wanted to go to the theatre again. But this time it was going to be video game music in concert. So I scooped up that opportunity right away. I said to him, look bro, yes, give me a ticket now. I'm 100% going to come to this. And he mentioned to me that the seats that were left weren't so great. But I said to him, look, don't worry bro, we're going to see music. We don't need to see the band, we can just listen to them. So we got the tickets and we waited. It was a couple of nights ago now we went to see this. And again, it was fantastic. We went for dinner beforehand. We made a big event of it. It was really, really good. This video game music in concert. So what I'll do is I'll just read you a little bit of the programme that I bought that night, just to set the vibe. This is it here. I'll take photos and I'll share it with you so you can actually see it. So I'm not just holding it up to the camera. Welcome to the adventure. I'm delighted to be back with the Royal Scottish National Orchestra for the second consecutive year to bring you arrangements of all my favourite themes from beloved games. Our programme tonight will take us through the 9 realms, to the furthest reaches of Hyrule, across the second planet, to the depths of Azeroth, and back to Earth again. I cannot wait to bring you along. That's just the start. I will put it up so you can read more if you want to. So we got there and like I say, I got the programme, we took our seats and we were ready for the experience. This is the track list here. I'll go over the track list in a second, but one of the very special things about this evening was the fact that they had 2 separate choirs. Now, the names of these choirs are the RSNO Youth Chorus and the RSNO Changed Voices. When I went to see the movie music, they didn't have these choirs. Now, once you see the track list, you'll understand why these choirs were so prominent in the performance. So we'll just go over this now. So we started with a World of Warcraft suite. I haven't played World of Warcraft in a long time. I played it back when I was at school. Let me tell you though, I was addicted to it. I think I've mentioned that before, but yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. There was a couple of parts that I thought I maybe recognised. It was taking me back all those years, but yeah, it was super good to hear the Warcraft music. Next on the list we have Sea of Thieves. Again, I haven't played Sea of Thieves, but the music for it was really, really good. Just before I go any further forward, I should probably mention that me and my sister's boyfriend haven't played a lot of these games, but there was one game on the list that we were both super excited for. So next we have Hades music. It was only one track from Hades, but it was really good with the incorporation of the live guitar and everything, the live electric. It was really good because You don't often. I'm going to try to stop saying really good. The last time I went to the theatre, there was no electric guitar, there was no acoustic guitar, so this was like another level of experience for me. I used to play guitar myself and really enjoy it as an instrument. String instruments are probably my favourite, closely followed by keys. So yeah, No Escape from Hades was amazing, and I enjoyed it even more because as a viewer on my channel, you know who you are, that talks about Hades quite regularly and has built up an interest in myself about the game. So to go here and hear some music from it after having this friend online tell me so much about it really added to the experience, you know. And my sister's boyfriend even said, bro, what game is this from? This sounds amazing. So it kind of just hyped me up even more. So I'll probably buy Hades 2 when it comes out. However, next on the list we had Lullaby of Woe from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, I've never played any of the Witcher games either, but I have watched retrospectives of all of the games from Salt Factory. If you're interested, go check out his channel. It's absolutely amazing. This is when the choir first came in. In this Witcher song, we had a solo from the youth choir. Oh man, I can't even describe to you how good it was to hear the solo artists sing the Witcher theme song. It was so good. So then we had a break. The composer left and we had a break for 10-15 minutes. What I'll do now is tell you a little bit about the composer. We have a whole page here. Last time I went to the theatre, the composer was just a guy that travelled with orchestras. I don't think he composed any of his own music. This lady here, you'll probably know. I'm not going to try and pronounce her name because I'll destroy it. She's an Irish composer. She makes video game music. She has worked with World of Warcraft. She has worked with Miyamoto. She has been to conventions in Japan. This lady has a very impressive resume of music. What I'll do is I'll just read a little bit about her here, but again, I'll upload a photo so you can see. She's a Los Angeles and Dublin-based conductor and award-winning Irish composer, composing extensively for film and video games. As one of the world's premier composers of video game scores, she is responsible for one of the most enduring soundscapes on World of Warcraft and other best-selling video games. Through her music on World of Warcraft, it has reached over 100 million people and continually inspired players to invent and build new worlds for nearly 15 years. Her composition portfolio of over 30 film and video game titles has received multiple industry accolades, including the Hollywood Music and Media Award for Best Video Game Score. Now, not only does she compose video game music, but she was great at jesting with the crowd. She also understood the importance of video game music. She was talking about how it's always been looked down upon as a lesser art form. And I can agree with this. Like, there's so many people I know today that think, like, you play games, grow up, bro. You know, they don't see the depth and importance this industry has. Video games have always been my main source of entertainment, the media I enjoy most. Now, I enjoy movies, I enjoy TV shows, but there's always a quote that I've used, if I could call it a quote, and I'm probably not the only person to say this, but I've always said that, talking about horror games, but it applies to all games in general now that I really think about it. I've always said that horror games are better than horror movies because it's you that's controlling the character. But then if I think about it now more in depth, it's the same for any game, you know? It feels stronger to you because you are controlling the character. Doesn't matter what story it is, you're in control, you're in the universe. Much more so than I believe with movies. Now, I know this is just my own opinion, but I think it is the greatest art form. Well, maybe music's up there with it as well, but you know what I'm saying. It's so good, and she understood this. She understood how important music is in games and how important games are as a whole. So yeah, she knew what she was talking about the whole night, and we felt comfortable in our embrace. Now, something else that was different with this composer compared to the last one, she told us if you recognise music, if you recognise a song as we start to play it, please speak up. Please cheer. So when the first Warcraft song played, there was a bit of uproar, it was good. Sea of Thieves got a decent bit of uproar as well, and so did Hades. But when The Witcher came on, I reckon there was people in the crowd that had probably only ever seen the TV show, but there was definitely people that had played the games. When The Witcher came on, people went wild. So yeah, really, she knew what she was doing, and she was creating a fantastic atmosphere while we were there. So after the break, they played Fortnite music. Now, I was expecting, it was actually kind of funny. Me and my sister and her boyfriend were talking about this beforehand, like, what cheesy Fortnite song are they going to play? But it wasn't. It was like an epic orchestral battle theme that was fantastic. Now, Fortnite didn't get a big cheer, which I was expecting because the audience was quite old, but it was still really, really enjoyable. Next on the list we have Uncharted 2. Now, again, I've never played Uncharted, but my sister's boyfriend had played Uncharted, so he was really hyped for this, and the crowd went crazy for Uncharted, which was really good. Now, even though I didn't know a lot of these songs, because of the atmosphere and the environment, just how beautiful they all sounded, there was songs here, like I say, that I'd never heard that brought tears to my eye, and that just goes to show how powerful video game music is, you know? It's not often I cry to a pop song or a song you hear on the radio. It does happen for me, but not as often as it did on this evening with video game music. There was streams running down my face. It was actually kind of funny. My sister said to me at one point, like, we don't have any tissues, but there's a roll of kitchen roll sitting behind your seat. Grab it if you need it. I was like, okay, thanks. So after that, we move on to the Fallout 4 main theme. Now, again, I've never played any of the Fallout games. I own them on Steam. I bought them on sale. I just haven't got round to them yet. But I will say that I watched the Fallout TV show and thought it was absolutely phenomenal. Another good little side fact as well. This isn't relevant to the video, but the TV show was so popular that it broke the modding site Nexus for a few days. It just goes to show how important and popular the TV show is. After that, we moved on to the Starfield medley. I've never played Starfield. I'm not super into Bethesda games anymore. I'm not even sure if I'll play the next Elder Scrolls when it comes out, because you guys know my thoughts on this. They keep watering down the formula and whatnot. But I will say, as soon as the Starfield theme came on, I knew it was Starfield because it sounded spacey, vast. It almost kind of sounded like it had Star Wars elements to it. Now, I thought a lot of the songs sounded like they had Star Wars elements to them, but I think that was just because of the trumpets. It's kind of very Star Wars-y, but I could definitely hear influences in there. Fallout and Starfield also got a big reception when they come on. But next was a game that had been requested multiple times, and the composer agreed to play these. That would be Dragon Age Inquisition. This got a massive uproar when it came on. Again, I haven't played these games. You're going to see that I've played hardly any of the games on on this list. But it was video game music, so I still wanted to go. I've watched full retrospectives of all the Dragon Age series. One of my good friends are actually streaming Dragon Age on his channel at the moment. If you want to go check that out, I'll put his link in the bio down below. It was really good, very emotional. Recognise some of them from the retrospectives I'd watched as well. Now we come to the next song on the list, or the next set of songs on the list. The Halo trilogy. Man, if I go back to when my sister's boyfriend originally invited me to this and I saw Halo on the list, I don't have words for how excited how excited I was at the time. I had an Xbox when it came out originally, and I got Halo. I had a 360 as well back in the day, and I now only play PlayStation. No judgment to Xbox, but Xbox was a massive part of my life back in the day, and I played the Halo games. I remember watching that E3 trailer and seeing the announcement for Halo 3. I still watch it regularly, even though it's like in 360p. It's a moment in time that I don't want to forget, especially now that E3 isn't a thing anymore. As soon as Halo started, it was the biggest uproar we received all night. Everybody in the crowd went wild. Those first... even thinking about it now is making me emotional, man. Those first notes from the choir, the male guys that were singing, oh man. And my sister's boyfriend looked at me and was showing me the goosebumps on his arm. It was... yeah, I hate to keep saying I don't have words for it, but I really don't. It was something I never thought I'd get to see or hear live after... I don't know, you've seen the memes. All the boys singing it in the changing rooms at school, people playing it on the piano live at airports and whatnot. Halo means a lot to me, and I assume it means a lot to a lot of other people as well. And the way she blended the Halo 1 theme into the third theme with the piano, I just, oh man, I was a mess by the end of the Halo trilogy songs. It was just otherworldly. Again, I'm sorry that I don't have better words to describe how this is. It just, believe me, I felt like I was complete. I could have died in my seat right there and I would have been content. Okay, this is my time to go. I'm fine. Take me, you know, it was that good. So we had another break after that, and she came back out with Nintendo Reimagined. This was a 9-minute piece of 36 different games or different sections she had made specifically for this performance. Now this included Gotta Catch 'Em All by Pokemon, the original intro song from Red, Blue and Yellow, when you flick on the Game Boy, you know, do 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 do, you know the song. That she played that. She played Link to the Past songs. There was Mario songs. Again, this was really great, and it didn't make me as emotional as Halo did, but it was a different... Oh, it did make me as emotional as Halo did, sorry, yeah, but it was a different kind of emotion. Halo brought tears to my eyes. The Nintendo put the biggest grin I've had on my face in a long time hearing these Nintendo songs. And the great thing as well is, my sister's always been a Nintendo player. She's had a DS, she had the Game Boy Advance SP, she now plays the Switch. So to see her light up with these songs was really, really, really something special. After that, we had Kingdom Hearts. Now before Kingdom Hearts come on, she addressed all the guys in the crowd and said it's okay to cry, everybody does. So I've never played Kingdom Hearts, I know a lot about it. I know that there's loads of games, they've got crazy names like Kingdom Hearts X2A and stuff like that. I've never played them, I guess it's just never interested me. But the songs from it were really, really good. The whole night was really good. After that was a surprise curveball that I really, really wasn't expecting until they released the final lineup, which was Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. I mean, like, what a curveball, man. Who was expecting that? Great again, especially with the male choirs chiming in. This one I did recognise, because I played Baldur's Gate 2 recently. Or Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, sorry. Played it recently. And it's actually the game that led me into the Diablo series. So I owe a lot to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, and I had a fantastic time playing it. So to see this come full circle was really, really, really good. Stop saying that, VB. After that, we had the Wesker battle theme from Resident Evil 5. Now, the whole night beforehand, me, my sister, and our boyfriend were talking about Chris punching a boulder and everything, and we were really hoping the composer was going to make a joke about it. She didn't, unfortunately, but it was like a little inside joke that we were having the whole night, so it was still really great to hear. That was like some proper good boss music. After that, we had more World of Warcraft music. Again, it's from an expansion I've never played. Still really good though. That brings us to the next game, The Last of Us. Again, I've never played these games, but my sister's boyfriend had, and he looked like he was really, really enjoying this. It also got a massive uproar from the crowd to The Last of Us, but so did Nintendo Reimagined. So then we went on to Celtic Link Orchestral Fantasy. The composer, because she's Irish, was talking about how Link's probably Irish too, with all the music, and he wears green all the time, he's on adventures. Yeah, it was a really good comparison she was making. This is where we heard some of the most touching Nintendo music. There was a harp player, and there was people on flutes as well, but this lady brought out like a tiny wee flute to play the Ocarina of Time music, and to hear Fairy Mountain, oh my god. Songs, again, you know, I'd never thought I'd get a chance to hear live. Zelda was definitely one of the highlights, so was Halo as well. Then we moved on to God of War Ragnarok, and we had a solo from the guy on the strings. Was again phenomenal. Like I say, it was really, really good. And that was the end of the lineup, but there's always an encore at these things. Earlier on in the show, she had said about knowing the people that made the Fallout 4 main theme and the Starfield medley. So I was thinking, the encore is going to be Skyrim. It has to be Skyrim. She knows these Bethesda guys, it's going to be Skyrim. And then the encore came, and she said that if you know the words, sing along. So I was like, oh, it's not going to be Fufro Darien, is it? And they played Legends Never Die from League of Legends. Nobody sang along because personally, oh, maybe not personally, I think it's a common thing. League of Legends is for hardcore gamers, you know. I think it was a really weird choice to have as the encore song. The composer did say this was essentially just her playlist, so I can understand why she would maybe pick something like this. But yeah, nobody sang along, nobody know the words. I just think that a better choice could have been made for the encore. And I think we said as well, me and my sister's boyfriend were saying that the lineup seemed a bit out of place. It seemed like a bit of a no-brainer. Halo should have been last, really. Should have been the last songs to play to end the note on a massive high, because it is the game, the franchise that get the biggest uproar in the crowd. So that was the end of the night. It was absolutely fantastic. I'll upload some of the photos from this so you guys can see it a bit better. But my main point in this video was to say, if you've never been to theatre, if you've never been to see live music, I know there's a bit of a stigma behind going to the theatre to see plays and whatnot. Yeah, I know there's a bit of a stigma behind it. Don't listen to what other people say. If you enjoy music to the extent that I do, to the extent that my friends and family do, you will love the theatre. It's, like I said, it's like going back in time. There's no phones. Everybody is part of a big group. The composer jests with you. It's just such an emotional, fantastic experience, and I've never experienced anything else like it. So if you do ever have a chance to go and see any kind of live music in the theatre, be it video game, movie music, then I would suggest to go. I thought this was going to be super expensive. The tickets were £15. I don't know what that is in dollars or euros, but that's really not a lot for 2 to 3 hours of an experience that you'll remember for the rest of your life. You pay, 50, 60 quid to go to a one night rave. You pay like over 100 to go see concerts. This is worth the money if you can get to go see it. Just before I finish out, there was a couple of cool things on the programme. Definitely be going to see the Final Fantasy one in November, and there's another really cool one the day after my birthday in September, which is Star Wars A New Hope in concert. Now, as you'll notice here, it says film live with orchestra, which means they play the movie in the background and they play the music along to it. So that's something I've never seen before. My sister and her boyfriend have been to one of them before where they play the movie and the music. So that's something I'm super looking forward to as well. So I'll be going back to the theatre again twice this year, hopefully. And if I do, I'll make videos about them as well if you guys are interested. But yeah, the main takeaway from this is, if you enjoy music and you want to experience something different, try out the theatre, because it's a fantastic experience that you won't soon forget. But yeah, that's probably going to do it for me for now, everybody. Thank you very much if you watched this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Go listen to some tunes. See you later.
Let's do it.